Hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of our week of live here at Awaken Creators. I am so very thankful to be with you on this day, this beautiful Friday, as we close out the month of April, as we move into new cycles. I wanted to pause and take a moment to reflect on this project that you have seen me working with House of Urnebes and all of these incredible artists from all around the world. We're all coming together and we're talking about what it means to be human and what our experience as individuals and as a collective member of a culture, a society, and how that shapes our idea of our own humanity and our mind, our body, and our soul experiences. So today is a very special interview with Gina, who is one of the founders of the House of Urnebes. We're also going to talk to 4 incredible artists, participants, creators, magic makers who took part in this project. And it's not done yet. We do have one more section to show you of the soul pieces that they've been working on, and that will be posted very soon. But we wanted to take a moment to pause during this experience and allow them to share what it's been like for them, what they're creating with, how they're creating, and why they wanted to be a part of this beautiful project and how it's impacted their creative journeys. So first and foremost, I wanted to give some gratitude to the project, and then I would like to bring on Gina to talk to you all about House of Urnebes, what it's all about, and how this collaboration got started. So thank you for being here. And if you like what you see today, if you're really engaging with the different creators who are participating, I highly recommend that you check out their pages, check out the work that they have been doing, follow them, comment on their work, share it in your stories. These are the very small, simple ways we can help support our fellow creators without having to necessarily invest financially, because I know that can be difficult for some of us. So every little bit helps. Every little share, every little comment, every like, send them a message, let them know their work inspires you. It means more than you realize. So without further ado, I'm going to grab Gina and bring her on board. Let's talk to these crazy folks who are running this house. Bear with me if the technology is not as smooth as I'd like it to be, but we'll see. Okay, did I do it? There we go. It's starting to move.
Hi, Amanda. Can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Oh my goodness. And I just realized with my mic in, I can't hear you. So hold on just a second.
Okay.
Let me see if I can make a small adjustment.
Well, I think everybody else can probably hear us, so.
I figured something technological would go wrong.
Always.
Say something now.
Always.
Okay,
can
no,
you hear
I
me?
still can't hear you. Okay, my audio quality might dip because it thinks I have headphones in, so it won't let me do my mic at the same time. Okay, now talk.
Can you hear me now?
Yay! Yes, I can hear you now.
Perfect.
Okay, good. Sorry about that.
Well, this is my first Instagram Live, too, so I was hoping things would go all good on my side as well.
You were perfect. It's the host that had problems.
No worries.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, just introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about House of Urnebes, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Yeah, well, my name is Gina. I'm a proud Denverite, but I've been living out in Serbia for the past 5 years. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Kosovo, fell in love with a Serbian guy, and decided to stay out here. And He is actually right now working on putting tile in the basement of the soon-to-be coffee shop at House of Urnebes. House of Urnebes is both a space and a concept. The space itself is, imagine a big 4-story house, and the first floor is a coffee shop, the second floor is a hostel, and then the third floor or attic is an art studio. And then we hope one day in the future we can put a recording studio in the basement. So that's the space side of it. The concept side of it is Nenad, my partner, and I are really obsessed with the idea of bringing artists from different backgrounds together. So different backgrounds and different mediums, I should say. And what sort of chaotic creations they can come up with together. Urnebes, in a certain sense, slightly translates to chaos in English, but it has a wide definition. Anyway, we just became so interested in the idea of what would happen if you brought together 2 artists from 2 different backgrounds or 2 artists from 2 different mediums, whether that be visual artists or musicians or installation artists or anything. And what can they create together? Or even maybe more importantly, how can they inspire each other and help each other grow as artists and potentially as people? So in a nutshell, that's what we're working on here. We're looking at a tentative opening date this summer for the space, but we've been working on these virtual projects for a couple years because I think it's important to have a community growing alongside the space. We didn't want to just dump a bunch of money into building a commercial space. We wanted to have a community buy-in as we were building and growing this business.
Very smart. Very smart.
Hopefully.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited for the house to be complete and maybe even venture back to Serbia to check it out and see what kind of crazy chaos and beautiful creations can come out of that space. So while I was living in Serbia briefly last year, Gina and I met, and I was able to get a peek at the hostel in construction and all of the magic going on there, and just really inspired by Gina and Nana's passion for creators. Because neither of you are actually like artists yourself, right?
Neither of us are artists, but we are avid art consumers and art lovers, and we saw a space in the world for us to jump in and give artists a creative free space to create, and then also help with the organizational part of it. I think artists are often so caught up in their creations that they could use some help on the side with like, hey, here's somebody organizing something where you can jump in and be inspired.
Yes, that's beautiful. And very helpful. And I think that this project, among the other projects that you've done, have really helped serve that purpose, given artists an opportunity to have something that they can sink their teeth into without too much pre-planning themselves and really just get the creative juices flowing. So this project, Elements of hUmaNITY, well, Gina first reached out to me and said, hey, let's collaborate on something. I don't know what, but let's talk about it. So we did. And seeing as how Awaken Creators is really grounded in the spiritual journey of a creator's life, and how do we incorporate a little bit of that into this idea. So we came up with the Elements of hUmaNITY, the mind, body, and soul experience, to give creators an opportunity to express what the ideas of mind, body, and soul really mean to them individually and as a member of their collective culture.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And then alongside that, we wanted them to be able to look at and compare and see how artists from different cultures interpreted the concepts of mind, body, and soul. Because us living in our own culture with our own cultural lenses on probably have a pseudo-defined idea of what is the mind, what is the body, and what is the soul. And with this project, we really wanted ourselves to explore, but the artists themselves to explore how others define those terms based on their own cultural background or maybe even personal background. And that's just what's been fascinating about this project for me, is seeing how many different ways these, in my mind, pretty well-defined concepts can be stretched into so many different types of artwork.
Totally. And I love that cross-cultural piece that is so important to the work that you're doing, is really, I think, creating a lot of bridges between people that we so desperately could use more of on this planet right now, and finding ways to connect with others who are seemingly different from us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, Gina, I wouldn't want to let you go without you letting folks know how they can learn more and support the work that you and Ninad are doing in the house. So let us know, how can they learn more and reach out?
Sure. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, House of Urnebes, Urnebes. I'll spell it again, Urnebes. We would love a follow, but also I'd like to echo what you said earlier. We got to work with so many fantastic artists throughout this project, and you can see them tagged in all of the posts over the past few weeks. Please go give those guys a like and a follow. Maybe even say something nice in a comment underneath one of their pieces of work, because they have just been incredible to work with. It's been incredible seeing these artists interact in the group chat. I hope some of them stay connected into the future. I hope you guys get to follow along their art journeys. That would be the biggest success from this project for me, is if these artists got a little boost from it themselves. Cool. Amanda, thank you so much for having me on. I know you have a few of these artists waiting to jump on themselves, so I will stop talking, but thank you so much for partnering up with me on this, and I hope we get to do another project again sometime soon.
Yes, that would be so much fun, and I can't wait to see how the house starts taking shape. It's already getting really real. All right, Gina. Well, all say a collective goodbye and thank you to Gina and Ninad at the House of Urnebes. The work you guys are doing is really impactful to the creative community worldwide, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Amanda. Bye, audience.
All right, so let me figure out how to do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so I would like to bring on a few of the creative participants to this project and just talk to them about their experience and what it's been like, and so you can get inspired by the work that they are doing. So the first participant that I would like to invite is Hendra, and they are from Indonesia. So I'm going to try and grab and invite. There's so many cool creators on this project, and not just visual artists either. We have musicians, dancers. So I highly encourage you all to check out the work that's been posted.
Hello.
Yay! Yay! There you are. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hendra, welcome to the interview, the show. I don't know what to call it, the episode.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
So I guess I don't need the earset, I think, because I can hear you clearly now. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're good to go. Thank you and welcome. I wanted to just allow you a moment to introduce yourself to the community and let us know your cultural background, where you're living, and then we'll get into talking about your creative expression.
Okay, wow. So same like Gina before that, this is my first live Instagram, so I'm a bit like, what should I do? What should I say? But anyway, so my name is Hendra, and I'm from Indonesia. precisely like in an island of Java, and that's why my cultural background is Japanese, so I'm a Japanese person. And yeah, mostly I was working with watercolor, like with portraits, paintings, and everything. But recently I was attracted with the technology that everyone now are really like talking about, like really in a massive ways, about the artificial intelligence. So that's what I've been doing the last few months, trying to make research, trying to learn more about this new technology, and trying to see what I can do with my traditional art making process. Try to merge it and see how it goes, how far it can go. Yeah, I guess that's it.
No, I think that was such an interesting perspective that you specifically brought to this project. Because so the basis of the project was all about what makes us human, right? And you wanted to look at that from the perspective of how does artificial AI and you know, that fit into our humanity. So can you tell us a little bit more about what creating with AI is like, first of all, like what's the process you go through to do that? And then also, now that we've finished or are finishing the final pieces of this project, how do you feel that AI experience, like working with it, what did you learn from it? So how do you work with it, and then what did you learn by working with it?
Okay, so how I work with the AI, actually it was the first thing that I did, it was like just, you know, just playing around with the AI that I can use in like some of the program that's already in online, and I'm just trying to like doing what others did, just, you know, with trying to they write something and then see how the image appears. And apparently it's really like a bit scary for me, because if I don't know anything about drawing, if I don't know anything about the creating art or anything like that, I can make a piece of a great image that are, you know, similar with the professional did.
Wow.
So that's what a bit scare me. Like, okay, then you know, maybe like some people said, in the next future, we don't need artists. We don't need visual art, because everyone, you know, they can make, they can produce an image. And then, but I'm trying to see like, okay, this is like a new technology, like new tools, let's say like this. But is it only like this? Is it only like in a production perspective only? Can we use that as, can I say it like a booster to push our creativity like more, like to reach more that we never said before. Right. So I'm trying to learn more about this, like how it works, and then I found this one AI program that gives me some lesson options, so I can train my own AI with through their website, and then instead of using different image or stealing from Pinterest or from Instagram or from other artists, what if I use my own image with a certain theme, a certain characters of image, and then see how the AI react with it. And yeah, now it's like, it's been like 5 months, I think, and it was quite interesting, because the AI, it's, in my opinion now, it will be only a tools.
Sorry, say that again.
It will be only a tools.
A tool?
A tools, like a tools, like an equipment.
Tool. Got you. So, I'm sorry.
In the beginning, when I feel that it's like I'm afraid of this new technology, that it will make me jobless, I understand now that I don't need to be afraid, because those machine was just trying to, let's say, just to I don't know how to call it, but it's like to recreate what we give them. If we write a program, and then they will just work based on that program. So they cannot really yet, not sure in the next future, they cannot really yet to create something out of nothing, not yet. So that's what I learned, and that's what for me it's more like I felt more like attracted to this technology more, that maybe this technology, if I can use it as a tool, it can bring new visual imageries that maybe makes people like can be more attached with it or connect with it. So that's kind of what I experienced until now for the last few months.
Awesome. So just to recap there, it sounds like at first you started using it, just plug in maybe some ideas and see what it comes up with. And then you had the idea to give it some input, default input of your own work, your own art, and then see what it starts to create after learning your kind of style, I guess, as an artist. So that's really fascinating. So you no longer feel threatened by AI.
No. Even I feel more like it gives me a lot of ideas that, okay, last time this is what I'm thinking, like a words or a sentences, it's created by individual letters, right? And a letters, actually, if you don't, like, if you see from the ancient time, it's an image that people identified as an A, B, and then they can create a sentence of it. So letters are image. So if I use a different sentence or different stories or anything, and then I put into AI, for me, I'm interested, I'm curious to see how the machine learn it. Do they accept it as letters, and then they trying to mix and match the letters, or they can make a new letters that came from all those imageries of the letters.
Wow, that's a brilliant idea. You're
So that
going
was
to
my next
develop your
homework.
own language almost, right?
Probably.
And a new kind of writing. Wow. Wow.
Yep.
That's genius. So the pieces, so you created 3 pieces for this project. Do you have a favorite one that came out of this?
Sorry?
Do you have a favorite piece that you created during this time?
The last one.
Okay. The soul.
Because I make like kind of like a video, and I asked a friend of mine for the sounds, the music, and to kind of mix it with the image, the transformation of the image, that it's going slowly. Because I used to work in watercolor, so I'm trying to make the image move in a kind of like watery effect, like dripping or like spreading. So trying to get that feelings of water in the transformation of the image.
Got it. That sounds beautiful.
Do you use English with AI or Javanese? English, I think. No, I just read some.
It would be interesting to maybe mix the two and see what it comes up with by merging the 2 different writing styles. Because isn't Javanese like it's its own kind of script, right?
Yeah. At the last 2 weeks, I tried to just use like a letter, like just normal letters, and then soon I will try to mix it with the Javanese letters and see, where it leads. I don't know anything actually
Awesome.
yet now.
Yeah, well, that's a very creative space to be in, that unknown. Anything can
Yeah.
happen.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. So, the piece that you described, it sounds beautiful. How can people learn more about your work, or where can they go to see it besides, you know, the Awaken Creators account, the House of Urnebes? Do you have a social media or a website people can go to?
At the moment, I'm still using my Instagram just for like because of like it's practical. But I will try to make like a mini blog or mini website of my journey doing this, AI. Start from when start researching until some of the experiment that I make, and then later on I will make like a mini website or mini blog
Oh,
with some daily, daily thoughts, crazy ideas.
yeah, a playground for all of our crazy ideas.
Yeah.
That's
Hmm. Hmm.
wonderful. Awesome. Well, thank you, Hendra, for being here. Thank you for
Yeah.
being a part of this project. It's been amazing
Hmm.
getting to be introduced to your work. I
Yeah.
believe you worked with House of Urnebes on a different project before,
Yeah.
right?
It was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. The same like this
Awesome.
time. It's always awesome.
Oh, great. Thank you, Gina, for dropping the handle in the
Yeah.
chat. So if you all viewing this want to follow Hendra, learn more about this project and the future things that he'll be working on, you can follow him at Hendra Arkan, and the link is in the chat. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your beautiful creative mind with us.
Thank you.
All right. Have a beautiful day
Yeah.
or night.
Thank you. You too.
I know
At
it's
night
pretty late
now,
there in
11 p.m.
Indonesia, so you go
Yeah.
to bed now.
Yeah.
All right. Bye for now. Okay, let me see how I can. Still trying to learn how to transition. Okay. All right. So cool. I think just the idea of using AI in this project specifically is just absolutely brilliant. Totally. Okie dokie. So, let's see here. I think I had one of our artists message that they're unable to make it. So let me just try to double check that. Okay, so I am going to see who else is here. Okay. All right, Robin, if you are here and you are ready, I would love to have you come on. So I'm going to send an invite to the lovely Robin from California, and we are going to chat with her. We'll wait for the connection. Awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying this interview so far and learning a lot about this project, about the different artists and what they're creating, about House of Urnebes. I'd highly, highly encourage you to check them all out. If you haven't looked at the full collection of work, don't worry. We are in developing a website where we're going to have it all available, like an art gallery online for you to look at and explore. But in the meantime, you can check out the feed on the Awaken Creators page and review all the submissions so far. Okay, no problem, Robin. If you can hear me, I will resend the invite in about a minute. And let's see what else I can talk about for a minute. Let's see. Well, I'll just maybe skip to some of the other things I was going to mention at the end. So like I said, the website is going to be available with like a virtual gallery of all the works submitted. So stay tuned to that. And then, yeah, some of the soul pieces are going to be coming on. If you guys have any ideas about future projects that you would like to be a part of, or collaborations, opportunities that you see between Awaken Creators and another organization similar to House of Urnebes, definitely let me know. I'm totally open to suggestions and opportunities. So if you see or know of someone doing something really cool, either in your community or online, feel free to send me their profile link, tell me what you think is inspiring about them or why we should work together, and I will definitely reach out and check it out. I think that this project specifically has really helped me as the founder of Awaken Creators realize that working with other people and collaborating with other creators is truly the way to go and is the lifeblood of this creative family. So you're going to see a lot more interviews with artists, a lot more collaborative projects, bringing experts from other fields in to talk to you all about all manner of things, both spiritual and practical. So definitely look forward to that. All right. Okay. So briefly and real quick before we bring Robyn in, Andy from the UK unfortunately won't be able to join us today. She's who we had on next. But I did definitely want to mention that the very first work that she created for this project was like an embroidered slash watercolored, just amazing creation, so unique. So I definitely would encourage you to check her out, and her account is at Andy HSD. I'm just gonna type that in here because just because she wasn't able to make it, I don't want us to not give her an opportunity to be seen here. So if you have a moment, you are welcome to follow them. And then let me see if we can get Robyn on again.
Hello.
All right. Hi, Robyn. How are you?
I'm good. Finally made it.
Yay. You're traveling today, right?
Yeah. I have to commute about an hour and a half to work 3 days a week. So
Awesome.
it was the train
It's a
was
little
delayed a little
hectic.
bit. Train was delayed a little bit, but we made it. So all good.
Yay! Well, I'm so glad we get a chance to talk to you and learn more about your art and your participation in this project. So thank you for making time in your hectic schedule to be here with us today.
Definitely.
Awesome. So I'm going to hand it off to you at the beginning. Don't worry, though. I'll ask you some questions along the way, but just, briefly introduce yourself. Let us know where you're living, what your background is, and what mediums that you like to work in.
Definitely. Yeah. So I am in California. I'm most of my time in San Francisco, but I don't typically share my exact city for safety reasons,
Sure,
but
sure.
I typically hang out in San Francisco. I work mostly with collage, as you guys probably saw with the project. I do a mix of digital collage and collage like with paper and whatever materials I can find. Digital I found is a little bit more sustainable only because it doesn't take as much time to sit there and individually cut out every little item. it's a little easier to get all of the pieces ready for collaging. I typically use all of the images I use are public domain, but I typically use Smithsonian's open access or other museums because I'm an art historian. That's what I'm in school for. So I like to incorporate history in my works and bring the past with the present in kind of a really interesting way. I love the connection of cultures, of time periods, of ideas. I like to bring it all together to kind of have like an underlying theme of just how connected we are, like as a species. Like because we are human, we are inevitably connected to each other in millions of ways that we don't even understand. So I use collage as kind of like a way to express that, which is, yeah, pretty fun.
Very cool. I had no idea Smithsonian had an open access to all those images. So shout out to anyone looking for new resources, new references. Like, that's super dope.
It's super helpful. Not all of them are, but there's like several tens of thousands of images that they do make publicly available. So yeah, it's pretty helpful.
Very cool. Yes, I was going to say that sounds very helpful for for a collage artist.
Definitely.
Awesome. So what inspired you to participate in this project? Had you worked previously with House of Urnebes?
No,
before?
I think I just came across an ad on Instagram and I was already looking for ways to participate more and get my art seen more. I had a coworker here tell me like, hey, your artwork needs to be seen. I think you should start like applying for galleries and collaborations and things like that. And I was like, I don't really think it'll go anywhere, but sure, I'll put my name in the hat. And the very first gallery that I contacted put me in a show like less than a week after I applied. So first gallery this year, couple of collaborations, a bunch of different things. So I'm pretty happy with how it's going actually. But yeah, I think it was just an Instagram post or an ad or something. And I was like, that sounds kind of fun. So yeah, or possibly on Facebook, one of the other. But yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So it sounds like you've got a lot of inner motivation to start reaching out a little bit more, putting your work out there a little bit more, collaborating. Yeah. That's awesome. I feel the same way this year. So let's talk about the pieces that you created for this project, because they're really, really cool. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed every submission that you had. This second one that you did, the form and formation of Robyn in particular really stood out to me. It felt like getting to really see a human experience. Like, can you tell us about the inspiration between this project? Because there's so many different experiences that make us who we are. And I feel like that really came through in this piece.
I'm really glad that shone through. Yeah, I have a very long and way too long for this live, but a very long story of just kind of how I got to be where I am and who I am. But just a lot of trauma in my childhood and like throughout my life, and being able to work through that. And honestly, collage has helped with that a lot. I like to see it as kind of like fractions of different memories and thoughts, and like a mosaic of images in a way that kind of creates one full story. And I feel like because I was, I had so much trauma, all of my memories are also just fractals of memories. They're not whole. I don't really have any whole or complete memories before the age of like 20. So it's very interesting to kind of express that in a way visually, because I didn't think that was really possible until I started doing collage art. I was like, I don't know how I could possibly express this in the way that I want it to be conveyed. But I think that has helped kind of get me there, and I'm really glad that you said that those like vast experiences kind of came across really well. Those pictures were taken from all throughout my entire life, pretty much. Some were as recent as like last week, and some were as or the week that I did it, I guess. I don't think it was last week, but the week before. And some were as young as, I think I was 6 in the earliest one that I chose. So my whole life is pretty much represented there. All of the many faces of me throughout my life.
Wow. Yes, it's beautiful. We have a question here from Michael at Creative Learning New York. Wants to know, how did you start doing collage art? Like, so when did this collage journey begin?
Great question. I am an art student, as I said. I took a class a year and a half ago on Dada and Surrealism. And I really was like amazed, and I have been like so thoroughly inspired by those periods of art. I have been doing like mixed media and putting together like different pieces of things like my whole life as an art form, but I didn't really know that other people did that. So I didn't consider it art. I was just like, I remember being like 10 years old and saving trash from our like when we went out to eat at like a fast food place and trying to create little people with like the trash pieces. Like a bowl would be like a skirt or something. And like, I would just put them together in weird ways. And I had no idea that other people made art like that because I was never exposed to it. And so when I came across Dada and Surrealism in that class, I was like, wow, not only do they make art that looks like what I've made before, but the story they're telling with that art is similar to how I want to tell like my story. So I was just like thoroughly inspired by those two periods, and they continue to be like top tier inspiration for me. So yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like that brings a really big point to the conversation for other creators. Go get inspired, go learn about other artists, go to museums, take a class. Like you might realize, just like you did, Robyn, that you've kind of been doing this your whole life and didn't know that you were formulating this very unique and yet at the same time a storied history of this art form of collage, and joining the ranks of those artists who came before you. So
yeah,
that's what a beautiful discovery. I bet that felt really magical.
Very, very. And I think the artist that was on before me, he did AI art. I mean, that's kind of similar to like Marcel Duchamp. If I don't know if he's still watching, but look into that. Marcel Duchamp was the creator of ready-mades. So he would take things that were kind of already created, and it's not exactly what the artist was doing by any means. He was creating his own works, but the use of AI is very similar because it's using things that already exist and just like slightly transforming it, or maybe not even transforming it, and creating like a story behind it to give it new meaning. So that was really cool as well. Very similar time period. That was also part of Dada.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, Tracy from T-Folk, she's like, I love the Duchamp connection. That's fantastic. Yeah, and I did an interview with a Dadaist, PJ Augustino, So if you haven't checked out that interview, you might be interested
I should,
in their
yeah.
work as well. Okay. Yeah, so, well, I don't know if that was your favorite piece that you did, but I did want to ask you, of the pieces that you created for this project, which one was your favorite and why?
My favorite was the first one, the one for Mind, Labyrinth. That tells more of the trauma, the trauma side of things, where basically in the corner there, for anyone who hasn't seen it, there was a labyrinth and there was a face over it, and there were different shapes and things kind of pulling out from it and bringing direction to it. So it was kind of, the point of a labyrinth is, historically, it was to take a spiritual walk around, and it was said that once you exited, you would have more clarity. So it wasn't a maze or something that you really had to figure out. You were just supposed to kind of walk in the pre-planned path, and by the time you made it out, you were supposed to have some sort of clarity and spiritual like realization from it, basically. And I think that it's very telling of the circular um, or the cyclical element of healing from trauma, because you never really stop healing from trauma. It just gets easier the more times you go through the labyrinth. But sometimes there are obstacles in the labyrinth, and each time you go through that labyrinth, you still have to cross that obstacle. Even if it gets easier, you still have to make it through it again and keep processing until it finally gets better. Maybe the obstacle won't be there someday, but I haven't gotten to that point. But yeah, so I think that was the most powerful to me. I was like, wow, I didn't even know that I felt this way or thought about it like this. So it brought out like more understanding for me, which is the whole point of making art. It's understanding the world around you and putting things into perspective. So
Discovery, all of that, that's the true gem of it all. And I love that feeling when you're impressed with your own work, like not in like an egotistical way, but you're just like, wow, like that came through me and I love it.
yeah,
That's a great feeling.
it is. And it doesn't happen extremely often, but every now and then I'm
Right.
like, huh, that's kind of cool. Good job, me.
Yeah. Totally. All right. Well, great. So let's say I'm sitting in the chat and I'm loving you and I'm loving your work. Where can I go to learn more about you, to follow you, to support you?
Sorry, we have some like construction going on apparently. Yes, so my Instagram that I'm live with right now is the most up to date, but I also have a website under the same name, robynmalleryart.com. Yeah, that's the main ones. You can find me pretty much on any platform under Robyn Mallery Art. I try to keep it all the same to make it easy to find. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this project, for taking a leap and collaborating and, coming on board for the opportunity. And I think you're creating some beautiful stuff, and I hope that this continues to be a beautiful journey.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you again later.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, and I'm going to put Robyn's handle in the chat here for all of you. There we go. So you can make sure to follow. Okay, let me see here. Is on. All right. Whoops. Give me a technical moment. All right. Okay, so I had another artist scheduled who I don't see here, and I was already told that they might be late or may not make it because of connection. So I am, let's see, it's 9:50. I'm going to just call that good, I think. I want to give a big shout out and thank you again to Hendra and Robyn for coming on and sharing their creations, their experience, their story with us. I really, really hope that you all learned something. I mean, even if it was just like, oh, now I know that there's AI programs, maybe not to be scared of them, thanks to Hendra. Or, oh, I didn't know that there was a free resource online where I could get things to do digital collage with, thanks to Robyn. And two, I hope that, as always, that these creators are helping remind you that this journey is lifelong, that there's so much room to play and experiment and learn and grow as an individual. So if you are yourself a creator, just remember that what you're doing has purpose, and that you are creative for a reason. Just keep walking your path and you will realize it one day very, very soon. So thank you all, and big shout out and thank you to Gina and Nenad from the House of Urnebes for helping put this project together. Stay tuned for the website gallery where you can see all the works in one place, in addition to any future projects that we have going on. So the last round of soul submissions will be being posted next. So make sure you're following me at Awaken Creators, awaken.creators, so you don't miss a beat. Thank you all. I will see you again next time. Bye for now.